up to my neck in what they're doing.
He's up to it. He's got it down.
Yeah,
Way
we know
to go.
all of that. We get. It's so much. It's really a demonic system now.
Thank you, point of view, for having on Mr. Moore. It's excellent. This is what people need to hear. So Christian dads and moms need to hear.
Please go to my webpage at exodusmandate.org and share it with your friends.
Yeah, Brian, copy us at Point of View. Maybe we can get you on. You sounds like you know a lot about it, and we can learn more from you.
I think. Okay, good. Ray knows who I am. All right, so I'd love to get on there. I'd love to get on there.
Okay.
Right, thanks.
God bless you guys. Bye.
Brian, I appreciate your phone call. Let's head to West Virginia. I've tried to get Karl on before, but Karl, are you there now?
Yes, brother, I am, and it worked out good because following that caller is perfect for what I want to say. Thank you for having Ray on. I'm Ray's state coordinator in West Virginia, so I want to full disclosure that I fully support him. He's a great man. And I'd like to say amen to that previous caller that stressed that Christians are wasting their time trying to save or salvage the public schools. And I hope Ray will address this. Ray, what can we do to reach Christians? What's the plan? I know we've talked about it, but I'd like to hear you say it on the air. Thank you, brother.
Well, I think one of the biggest problems we have, sadly to say, having been in the ministry myself for 40 years, is the pastors are, generally speaking, as a group, AWOL on this problem. ACSI, which is the largest private Christian school agency or association in the world, about a year and a half, 2 ago, did a study of the pastors, and they found that about 10% of conservative pastors strongly support K-12 Christian education or homeschooling. Another 20% of strongly or moderately support. By that, they put their kids in a Christian school or maybe promote it, but they're not aggressive about getting the kids out as I am. And the other 10%, sadly, about 30% of evangelical pastors will take no action whatsoever. And when I discussed this with an ACSI official in Colorado Springs last year, he actually defined this 30% of, these are conservatives now, of being hostile to K-12 Christian education, which is kind of incomprehensible to me. I'll give you an example of it. Here in Columbia, South Carolina, we have a very good Southern Baptist church. We would call it a conservative Southern Baptist church, maybe a lot like First Baptist Church of Dallas or Prestonwood Baptist, something like that in your area. And they have quite a few public school teachers in the church. And the headmaster of a local outstanding private Christian school, which is affiliated with a Southern Baptist church, is a member of the church. But the pastor will not allow her to advertise, promote, or make any information known to the members because he's afraid of upsetting the public school teachers in his church. So we consider that being hostile to Christian schooling and homeschooling. And he's what we would call a Bible-believing Christian. So the biggest problem we have in the movement right now is we don't have enough pastoral leadership. And so we're hoping that will change and we could push the 20% who are moderately supportive of Christian schools to become like the 10% who are very strongly and aggressively supportive. We don't need half of the pastors. We probably need 30 to 40% of them to be engaged on this. But right now, only about 10% are really engaged. And it's a tragedy, in my opinion. I mean, I'm talking about evangelical pastors are really being derelict in their duties. So if your members are listening in and their church doesn't have a Christian school, get a delegation together or sign a petition and go talk to your pastor. Say, Pastor, we've got to get the kids out into the safe sanctuary of Christian schools and quit messing around trying to reform these public schools. They're not even broken. They're actually working. It's a socialistic model, and Christians shouldn't be there. We can't fix socialism. You can only abandon it. So that's the short answer, Karl. And Karl is really doing a very good job there in West Virginia, talking to pastors and doing conferences and doing radio shows. And if we had one person like him in all 50 states, we'd be making a lot of progress on this front.
Well, let's see if we can get a few more people to volunteer. But I had a couple other ideas, Ray, and one, of course, you mentioned a minute ago, of course, that very short video, which is entitled A Call to Dunkirk, and I just realized it's on your own website, so that would be one of those. It's 3 minutes long, so you can just go to exodusmandate.org, so we didn't even need to put a link because it's right there. But I thought I'd mention something else. We've had Colin Gunn on this program a number of times over the years, and you worked with him in a film that came out called Indoctrination, which I thought was really delightful because he had this kind of yellow school bus going around educating people about what's going on in education. He was kind of a Christian version of Michael Moore. It was taking the Michael Moore kind of concept cinematically, and then really, I think, did a very good job of educating individuals about what's wrong with the public school system. So I would think that if a church wanted to get a copy of that video, and I'm sure you can connect them up with that, or just even find it on the websites that are available there, Colin Gunn and Gunn Productions. I know you were a part of that, and there's just another way to maybe get people to look at this and go, you know, because everybody thinks really that the public school system is bad, but the school that my kid goes to, it's okay, right? And so what you need to do is kind of help them recognize, no, it's not okay, and we're really fighting an uphill battle.
Right. That is probably the best single thing that's been done in this movement in maybe the last 15, 20 years. And Colin Gunn and Joaquin Fernandez were the directors and producers. I was the executive producer, so I put up a substantial amount of the funds and also had a little bit of the hand into the script, and it was sort of the agenda of Exodus Mandate. And it's hard to measure, but we're guessing maybe 3 to 4 million views by now. And so I commend you for having him on, and I hope you'll have him again because that movie is still out there and it's still going strong. They can order that at indoctrinationmovie.com.
Right. So another good example. Not bad for a guy that comes from Scotland.